Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. And once again, we'd like to welcome you to the 2017 Derby City Classic for the 19th edition of the annual Pocket Billiards All-Around Championship. We're here in the ACCUSTATS Arena at the Horseshoe, Southern Indiana, the home of the Derby City Classic. Well, we got the match of the century almost coming up here for you. We've had a lot of those in the past. We probably have a lot more in the future. But before I introduce the players, I want to take this opportunity to thank our signature sponsors, Diamond Billiard Products, Simonis Cloth, Cyclop Pool Balls, Master Chalk, and OBQs for their continued gracious support of the DCC. And also, once again, a special thank you here to the Horseshoe Southern Indiana for hosting us for 9 consecutive years. It doesn't seem like it's that long, but it's 9 years we've been here, and we're looking forward to many more after this. Last but certainly not least, each and every one of you great, loyal ACCUSTATS fans out there that have supported us so graciously throughout the years, and to all of you that have come here to watch live in person, thank you all very, very much. All right, here's how we stand in the One Pocket division. This is round number 10. Today is the final day of One Pocket. We will have a champion before it's all over tonight. 347 players began. I believe there are 10 players left, 2 or 3 with rebuys. I'm sorry, I can't give you the names of those right at the moment due to prior matches, but it's going to get pretty exciting from here. So with that being said, let's meet our players. From Angeles City in the Republic of the Philippines, this gentleman has an unprecedented record here at the Derby City Classic. It may never be broken. 6 times he has been crowned Derby City One Pocket champion. 5 times he's been crowned Derby City All-Around Master of the Table. He's a member of the One Pocket Hall of Fame. He's a member of the Billiard Congress of America Hall of Fame. He's sponsored by Puyat Sports and San Miguel Beer. Ladies and gentlemen, the most famous name in the game, it's the magician, Efren Reyes. His opponent's from Beast League Surigao del Sur in the Republic of the Philippines. This gentleman is a 2-time U.S. Open One Pocket champion, and he too is a Derby City World All-Around champion. He's sponsored by Tiger Products and Bugsy Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's RoboCop, Dennis Orcollo. This is 1 race to 3, alternate break, rack your own, cue ball fouls only, with a 60-second shot clock and 1 extension each per game. I now have the pleasure to turn it over to our commentators, the voice of ACCUSTATS, Billy Incardona, and his partner, Mark Wilson. Take it away, gentlemen.
Here's what's on tap. World-class One Pocket. Think of these famous matchups. Spassky and Fisher in chess, McEnroe-Connors in tennis, Scalisi and Walker in cell phone pool, and now Reyes-Orcollo One Pocket. Another classic, Wilson and Incardona on the call. Welcome aboard, Billy.
Yeah, and it's nice being here, Mark. And you said it right. These 2 guys right here could possibly be the 2 best One Pocket players in the world today. Even though Reyes is up in age a little bit, he's still here. And the reason he's still here because he plays every facet of the game as well as it can be played. The only problem I can see in his game is his shot-making ability has really diminished a little bit.
He's still a force to be reckoned with. Sometimes struggles drawing the ball. You know, he just operates on knowledge. Good opening break here.
Now, Efren is a master of putting his opponent in traps. Orcollo, on the other hand, is a master at getting out of them. He handles the cue ball so well. He's a very, very intelligent player at the table, and he's been playing a lot of pool lately, so he should be really sharp.
Through the week, you see that Orcollo has the capacity to generate shots that the other guys don't. The in-between strokes, the mid, just a little bit above center, a little bit below, stun the cue ball forward, different speeds.
Yeah, he has all the shots in his arsenal. I mean, he's just a tremendous player. Like I mentioned, he's a master of getting out of situations. And this is a fairly difficult situation, but none that he can't handle here, believe me. He'll get out of this.
Interesting break, too, because both players have balls near their hole and almost identical patterns. He just concedes the ball to Efren. I don't know that he meant to do that, but nevertheless. Now he's tipped the break around here pretty well.
Yeah, well, sometimes it's a fair trade-off to give up a ball to gain a positional advantage. I think that's what he had in mind. The cue ball didn't travel much, which indicates to me that's exactly what he tried to do.
Mm-hmm.
Well, he didn't get the cue ball all the way down table against that cushion. I think that may cost him, because if I believe Orcollo does a bank on the 14, try to put the cue ball behind the 1. Let's see how well he executes this shot.
As long as the 12 ball doesn't creep out off the 11 ball here, that could be the only way it could go awry. Oh, he
How about
stuck
that?
it. Oh, boy.
Master of controlling the cue ball.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been done. It couldn't have been done any better than that, Mark.
From 5 feet away to pin that to the 1 ball, that's world-class pool.
But nothing that Reyes can't handle.
They make it look easy, but try that at home, folks, and you'll see, wow, that thing trickled 3 inches, Yeah, you got to play a lot of pool to be able to execute that on command. You might do it randomly by chance once in a while, but to do it under the pressure, you got to be playing a lot.
Now, here's the problem Reyes has. Not only does he have to defend against this shot, but he has to defend against the 1 ball backing across corner here. So let's see what he does with the cue ball. So he decides not to go off the 1. Had he gone off the 1, the cue ball would have traveled about halfway up that side rail, leaving Orcollo a nice bank on the 1 into the balls. Something Reyes saw. He didn't like it, so he decided to go elsewhere with the cue ball. Good thought.
Yeah, very heady player. You can kind of take his shot selections and take them to the bank. I mean, you think, well, I'd rub the 1 ball here, and you'd be wrong, because Reyes does not make mistakes on shot selections. He's the only player that I feel that way about.
Cue ball back into the stack here. Watch it. Nope. He didn't get the spin that he needed. Now, playing on the feature table, which is the ACCUSTAT table, the newness of the cloth, the heat down there, the cue ball doesn't spin and grab on the cushion as well as it does on the tables in the tournament area. So therefore, he thought he was going to get a little more grab with that spin, but he didn't get it.
Now, Reyes has a bank shot to get started here. 7 ball. He's going to take a moment, see where he wants to put the cue ball.
He's trying to decide whether or not it's bankable, because the 8 ball, that is the 8 ball, isn't it? It may be in the way of the bank.
Yes,
it's pretty close. If it's bankable, he should go for the pocket. If he banks the ball into the stack, controlling the cue ball may be a problem. Yes, it was bankable.
Now he played position for the 8. And will not only remove a ball from Orcollo's side, but put one in Reyes' pocket.
And the angle that he's left himself with the 8, it's a little awkward, so therefore controlling the cue ball may be a slight problem here. Nicely executed.
Comfortably rolls down for the 11.
I like your shot with the 11. A lot of players will go after the 12 ball and try to loosen up the pack. No, get some balls first, then play position for that ball. Make sure you get a few balls. Looks a little bit awkward here.
It does.
A little thinner, huh?
Yeah, he needs to concentrate on making sure he makes the ball and not worry about the billiard. He does that well, but I think he's going to try to develop a ball, maybe the 14 here, in that fashion. He recognized it was going to be really treacherous to try to do something else, so he rubbed the 14 down and just used speed to control
And I like what you said about concentrate on pocketing the ball and put more effort in pocketing the ball and less in the billiard. And if you do that, you'll stay in control of the table.
Right.
And that's what it's all about.
Real first shot here, Billy. Oh, cost him. That's a shot we're not used to seeing Efren miss.
No. Like I mentioned before, if there's anything that's weak or kind of weak in his game, it's his ability to strike the ball. Well, let's just say it's not like it used to be.
Right. You've played a lot of pool with Efren over the years, too.
Yeah.
And you've watched a lot, and you broadcast a lot of his matches. So you're as aware of his game as I am, if not more.
Interesting shot. He's going to play some sort of either a carom or a combination.
I think it's the 10 ball, isn't he?
I don't think so. Is he playing the 10?
Looks like it.
Yeah.
You could rub that in.
Okay. I didn't think he was playing the 10. Now he's got the 2.
Yeah, he'll be able to bank the 14 as well if he can pocket the 2 and get the 4 out of there.
If he can maintain an angle off the 4 to bank the 14. He's a little thin on the 2. He may have to play the 4 next and then play the cross on the 14. He would really like to go into the balls there. But being so close to the rail in the half-difficult shot on the 2 will probably preclude him from doing that or even thinking about doing that. So let's see what he does. And don't forget the 3 ball is also playable. So therefore, he may want to play 2, 4, 3 if he doesn't like banking the 14. Because the 3 will probably get him out if he can get a good angle on the 3. And when you're talking about the true upper echelon player, you're more concerned about getting out when you get the opportunity.
All right.
Notice he left the 4 there. That's his insurance ball. After breaking loose the balls, he should have a shot on one of the balls, but for sure he'll have a shot on the 4.
Right.
So that's why he opted to go 2-3 instead of 2-4-3.
Yeah, I think that's a better route. He's going to clip the 6 and the 5.
See, now he has the 4.
Oh, with total control as well.
He's got three balls. Is that correct?
That's correct.
He needs 5. This shot is going to be a very interesting shot. He's going to have to do some traveling with the cue ball. He's pretty thin on the 4, so I look for him to go up and down here. Unless he can draw it back, which I don't know if he can draw it back. And he's going to have a problem reaching it.
I like your shot, the up and down.
Oh, he decided. See,
great.
the English didn't grab as much as he wanted it to once again.
I still think it's a good decision, and from here it looks awkward, but I think he feels very confident about pocketing the 9 from here.
Now, he would like to draw into the 14 here. I think that if he cuts it, he can clip the 14. How much? I don't know. From our vantage point, the angle is pretty difficult.
Yeah, it looks severe.
Yeah.
He looks comfortable, and it looks like he's going low right English to clip the 14 here, like you said.
No, he overcut the 9. Had he not overcut the 9, he most likely would have went into the 14. But he left Reyes at the table. Reyes was playing for 3, Mark.
Maybe a hint of split-mindedness, thinking about the 14 when he was overcutting the 9 there a little bit, like he wasn't as devoted to pocketing the ball.
Yeah, something was going through his mind, and it all wasn't positive stuff.
Well, Reyes is gifted with this opportunity that he didn't expect he was going to get. I think he kind of in his heart felt like Orcollo was going to go ahead and run out.
I like the speed that he hit that shot with. He hit it to go 2 cushions as opposed to 1. Going the extra cushion sort of like increases the accuracy of the shot somewhat.
To your point, though, I did not like the way he switched his cue after he shot it.
Yeah, going a little too close to that side.
Looked like he shot that with like, I'm not sure if I'm going to make this or not. So, nonetheless, Reyes takes off 1-0 in the match.
Well, Orcollo had his chance in game number 1. Reyes broke the balls in game number 1. Orcollo really wanted to steal that game, crack the break.
Yeah.
Because in a race to 3, a short race to 3, the winner of the first break has a big advantage.
Right, and
not a slight advantage, a big advantage.
Oh, for sure. And we kind of feel like maybe that's Orcollo's strength is shooting, so he needs to win his games on shooting ability, not tinkering around here.
Right.
You know, so
He didn't think that his shot-making ability would have let him down.
Right.
And that's what happened.
But I think that 14 ball did allow a little distraction to his shot-making ability.
Along with Reyes in the chair.
Yeah. Yeah, he had to have looked up to him as a kid. So there's no way that doesn't cost you half a ball playing him.
No, he broke him a little too softly there. He really didn't get a good spread, and he didn't really create much of a problem for Reyes.
He's looking like he can bank this 8 ball.
It looks like he can.
Oh, that will really hurt Dennis. And if he is successful, even though Reyes doesn't have a shot or a great
Well, he's
shot.
going to play the 3 off the pack here, send that cue ball toward the 1 possibly, if he has that angle. But I look for him to play it off the pack. If that angle is available for him to hide the cue ball, he'll play this off the pack, and he could pocket the 3.
I think, he's looking at kicking the 3.
Well,
That's imaginative, too.
It's a stretch.
Failed to get a rail.
Yep.
I'm going to tell you, what separates Efren from all other pool players, not just in one pocket, but particularly one pocket, is his ability to play caroms and billiards, 1-rail billiards, 3-cushion billiards. He's got a strength there that the other players do not possess.
Oh, he's got every shot, and he loves to play caroms and kisses.
Mm-hmm.
Being the best rotation player, or at least at one time in the world, you have to understand caroms and kisses in order to run 15 balls in rotation.
Yep.
Because there's a lot of times you have to play a carom or a kiss for position or open up balls.
Right.
And so he's so versed at that.
Yeah, using a secondary object ball to land the cue ball on to create an angle. He's a master of that, and that all came from his billiards background, which pool players generally lack.
And when I first started playing Reyes One Pocket, which was, I don't even want to mention how long ago that was, I knew, because of his ability to do the things that he could do, I knew at that time that he was going to be the best one pocket player in the world.
Yeah.
Because what he does so well, very few can do, if any. And I know what he does is going to make him the best player in the world.
Absolutely amazing guy. They call him the magician, but that's to diminish the talent that he's earned, as opposed to, it wasn't just something that he dreamed up.
And he sees something here.
He thought the 13 would go, but he also thought he could handle the cue ball from there.
Yeah, he thought that he would get a lot of positive action with that shot and possibly pocket the 13. But most importantly, he wanted to handle the cue ball.
Mm-hmm.
He's got to be careful here. He could bank the 13 into the 3 and draw the cue ball into the 6 or in back of the 8, 9, where the 6 is.
That's a nice thought. I don't think he's seeing it that way.
Even if he hits the 5, it's okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because he'll hit the side of the 5 and go into the 9. But he's not playing that shot. He's locked into something else. He's not thinking about drawing the cue ball.
If you were his coach and you suggested the shots and he did the executing, I would like to have half of that action for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, he did.
He did it. Yeah.
Wow.
That's what I thought he was going to do.
Great call, Billy.
Because he's just a great player. He's learned to play the game so well in the past, I would say the past year.
Yeah.
And I watched him play, and he's really, really thinking at the table, and his execution is, well, just
top notch.
Magnificent.
Yeah, top notch.
Well, he'll just stick it there under the 9. He'll go into the green 6, open up a couple balls on his side. At least that's what I see. Very simple shot, opening up 2 or 3 balls, stick them on the 9, take a chair.
It's like if he goes this way, he's kind of thinking about the 2, maybe introducing the 2 to the cue ball. Did he get a rail? He did.
Yeah, he got a rail.
Yeah.
And now Reyes has got a little bit of a problem here. Now, he can always go up table up to the upper left-hand corner of pocket. Both the 1 and the green ball precludes him from pocketing the 14, or Orcollo that is. But how do you get up there? That's the problem. Well, he maybe even just stick him in the stack. I really don't like sticking him in the stack here.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you don't really position the 8 ball good, you could create a problem for yourself. He's got to position the 8 ball good here.
Well, he did that pretty well.
No.
No.
See, now Orcollo could come off the 10 and put him right back in the stack. Or possibly the 8. Now the 8 ball went down a little bit further than Orcollo wanted to do. He'll come off the 9 in some way here. He can come off the 9 and lay him on top of the 8. Coming off the 9 does a couple things. It eliminates a very, very big ball for Reyes. He put him back in the stack. Very, very nicely executed. See, that was why I really didn't like staying in the stack area.
Mm-hmm.
I like going up table, forcing the issue. See, now Reyes can put him on that top left corner by softly rolling the 9 to the cushion.
Well, that's soft.
Well, it rolled off. It must have rolled off. Because Reyes never misses the entire ball. I mean, I've never seen him do that.
Yeah.
I've only been watching him play since the 80s.
I thought we were going to talk about that, but okay.
Okay.
It slipped out. It's been a while.
Okay.
Me too.
Forget that I said. Orcollo straight in on the 14 here. I hope I'm calling these colors correctly.
You are, yeah. That's the 14. I'll help you if you. And not to correct you, but just so the audience understands. And they are odd. This is the Skittles set. The lime green is the 6 and 14, and the robin's egg blue is the 7 and 15. Pretty stroke.
Yeah, pretty good, but too good.
Yep. Probably not exactly what he was anticipating, but it was still pretty.
Not at all. He may be forced to play the 1-4. Was that the 4?
7.
It's, the 1-7 combination here. Now, I take a look at that 1-7 combination. Not much good where he's looking down toward that 8. You know, I don't like that at all.
When Billy calls the 1-7, he's indicating not that it's just on and wide open, but soft roll it, get the 7 up by the pocket.
Now he wants to put the cue ball by the other side pocket here. Now he says, oh, I don't know about this. So he wants to play the 9, go cross table with the cue ball, challenge Reyes if he misses with the 10. But he doesn't miss much.
No, supreme firepower from Dennis Orcollo.
Now, had he missed that, Reyes would have had an option to shoot the 10 or maybe clear the pocket. That's what Orcollo was worried about. Mm-hmm. But, you know, he decided to shoot it. He got up from the shot because once you decide to shoot a tough shot, get up from it and then concentrate on pocketing the ball. Because once you make that commitment, make sure you do it well.
Yeah, right. Now, Dennis missed the combination, but he was in an effort to make sure the cue ball lodged up properly, and he did that very well. Stunning the cue ball away from that cost him, in terms of his accuracy, just that smidgen that the pocket wouldn't allow.
Now, Reyes has 2 shots here. One is a very, very difficult shot, but very rewarding. He can bank the 1 cross corner, 3 cushion the cue ball behind the 6. Or he can go right behind the 6 with the cue ball off the 1. This is a little risky, too, because he could scratch here. Oh, he went to the rail. I don't know about that. That's not going to get it. I mean, am I wrong? I mean, does he have a shot here?
He can fan it in, it looks like. Billy's talking about the 7 near Orcollo's pocket.
Well, he doesn't like it. Look at the picture on the monitor here.
Yeah.
Now that picture seems like it's a little more difficult of a shot. Pocketable, but is it worth the risk?
Right. Yeah. It's not likely he can clip the 1 ball or pick up a shot. secondary shot.
And if it goes into the stack, he may even scratch. So he decided to protect it. Moving possibly, well, he lost his cue ball here. That could cost him this rack. See, the shot that they just shot, you had to control the cue ball with that shot.
Right.
You just
right.
had to, because you have to control the ball in front of your pocket. Not only didn't he control the cue ball, he left Reyes an offensive shot.
Oh, cue ball slipped away. Efren was trying to stick him on the 11.
I don't know if Orcollo can pocket the 11. I don't think he can.
13 in front of Reyes' pocket.
Yeah. Well, the 11 ball is next to the cue ball.
Crucial component of this little match right here is that neither player has a buyback, so somebody's going to be leaving. Skylar Woodward's still undefeated in the one pocket, and that's not really known to be his strength.
You know, when you're talking about Skylar Woodward and other young players like Skylar Woodward, every year that passes, their speed elevates so tremendously. We really don't realize how much of an improvement is made during that year.
Yeah.
When you were Skylar Woodward's age, how much did you improve in a certain game in a year's time?
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's really no big surprise he's still left in the tournament.
Yeah, he's 23 years old. Billy Thorpe's still in. He's 20 years old.
There's another very, very outstanding young player, you know, and he has all the tools to play great one pocket. Excellent shot maker, and could possibly be the best bank pool player in the world today. And so, you know,
in both their
banking
cases,
and shot making, playing one pocket,
yeah,
those are kind of like big tools to have in your bag.
There's one other component to that is that they have the right temperament. They're not wrapped too tight. They both can laugh during a pressure match.
Yeah, and that's an excellent point. There, yeah. Yeah, they had a great attitude. He played that off the court. He played that off the stack, actually.
I never see anyone play that shot, but Efren does with control. It's so beautiful to watch.
Yeah.
It's like Rembrandt painting the picture. And it didn't work out, but it was just the right shot.
We got to be careful here.
2 cushions, in rail, side rail, off the stack. Move the cue ball down table. Beautiful.
He wants to get behind that 13. He's got to be careful here.
Boy, he had it too. The 15 was on its way to his pocket.
Now, if Reyes can hit the bottom part of the 14, that's what he'll do, elevate and draw the cue ball up that side rail. I don't know if he can hit. Let's get an angle behind Reyes. That's a good angle.
That's good camera work.
Now watch the cue ball. He wants to try to control the cue ball here. Soft roll here. 1, 2, into the stack. Very nicely done.
There's straight rail billiards for you, Billy.
Yeah.
Right there. Perfect example. Other guys struggle with that little shot. And Reyes makes it look like automatic, but you have to hit that properly with the right spin and the right speed to get that result.
So the problem with that shot that Orcollo just shot is he didn't position the cue ball where he needed to position it. Now Reyes has options here. He can shoot the 1 and stick him right back in the stack, or maybe he can even possibly, you know, move the 14. That shot is more controlling the cue ball than the 14 ball.
Yeah. Reyes may be able to hit the 6 ball here and maybe do some damage. He's got to be careful, though. He cannot open up the 11 and 12.
Now, Reyes doesn't want to allow Orcollo, after he shoots, to be able to shoot a ball and put him back into the stack without a shot. Let's see what he does.
Good job there. Further nudges the 11 on top of the 12. Orcollo has a ball near his pocket that's a threat, but Reyes has a multitude of balls near his pocket.
Okay, now Orcollo must put him on the rail, Because if he puts them on the rail, I don't believe he can pocket anything. But he doesn't want to put them on the rail where he can see the 14.
Yeah.
So he wants to be able to put them on the rail behind the 5-6 and block the shot on the 14. But to do that, that requires a perfect touch. Speed now becomes very, very crucial on this particular shot. Now, if he goes back again, he runs the risk of giving him some sort of a combination. This is dangerous. Oh, look what he did with the cue ball. That's just magnificent what he did with the cue ball there. He sandwiched the cue ball in between the 2 and the 11. You couldn't have placed it with your hand any better than how he did it with his cue.
And comfortably got it there.
I'm going to tell you, that was a tremendous shot. That was a great shot. Reyes should be thinking about kicking at that 14, one cushion. Even though it's a possible scratch, it doesn't have to scratch. And even if it does scratch, he may not give up a shot.
I think Reyes can hit a center ball stop shot on the 1 and just leave or maybe just drift the cue ball just on top of the 11, not dislodging them.
Well, he could possibly do that, but let's see what he does here.
Yeah, it's not all that productive of a shot. He's looking at doing something different with the 1, though. I suggested he's just measuring it. He's not committed to it.
Can he draw off the 14?
It looks like he can just roll down on the 4 if he wants to and put the cue ball on the end rail.
The 4, I mean, yeah.
Well, he took a foul.
Well, we're playing 3 fouls now. That's lost a game, 3 fouls. Reyes is on the first. And I'm not much Orcollo can do, put him back. But he must put him back exactly where it was before, because if he doesn't, Reyes was trying to do something, a little bit different. See, what Orcollo wanted to do, actually, he wanted to move the 11 far enough to where Reyes couldn't keep him there because he would have a combination. Now Reyes is getting him in more trouble here. Is there an angle in back at the cue ball where Reyes was standing that we could take a look at?
I'm taking the foul again.
No, he pushed that. Now that was like almost an illegal shot there. Unless they were frozen, and that's the rule, you can do that.
Well, that will be his second foul anyway.
Yeah, well, Reyes is on 2. Orcollo is on 1. The score of the match, obviously, 1-0 in favor of Reyes. Ball count 3-2 in favor of Orcollo.
Yes, you do.
Is it? Or 3 to -2 in favor of Orcollo.
Been an interesting exchange here, and the mental chess component has come into play. It's not just been a shootout.
Yeah.
Reyes with way the upper hand in terms of the arrangement of the balls, but the negative score count.
I think what he's going to end up doing is probably shoot off the 14 and try to freeze him on that 2 again. That seems to be the easiest shot to execute.
Right.
And he really can't afford to make a mistake now. Because Reyes is on 2. Or maybe he'll just touch the 2. Or maybe if he doesn't want to take a scratch, he'll freeze him on the 2 by going into the 14.
He didn't freeze him. He had a little draw. He's smiling.
See, that's the problem. When you don't want to take that intentional because you don't want to lose that ball, especially in a situation like this, you better be 100% sure you can do what you intend on doing. And he didn't. Now he's sitting in his chair, probably saying to himself, I gave it away.
Yeah, suppose that Reyes summons the capacity to run these balls out now, and Dennis loses this game from that circumstance, he's just going to be, he beat himself at that point.
Take a look at Orcollo. He knows it. Look at his face. Look at his expression. He's saying to himself, I gave it away. And that's what he did.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he knows the way that Efren can hurt him is if he leaves him in close to the pack and gets into a tactical game, because that does not play to his strength. And it minimizes Efren being exposed to his weakness, which would be the shot making.
Now, he'd like to fall on the 4 here. Let's see what he does. It's not simple, but he would like to fall on the 4. Oh, he's going up table.
Trouble.
Up table.
Yeah.
I would have thought he would have shot the 2 to fall on the 4. The gap between the 4 and I believe it's the 12 wasn't that large, but there was enough room to get in there.
I thought
that's what he was going to do.
I did too, and I thought he banked the 15 or 14 ball next, or 15 ball. You got me calling the wrong one.
I do. I apologize.
You called that the 14. It's the 15 ball over there by the pocket. Yeah. Well, Orcollo has been granted the reprieve here from his circumstance.
Now, Reyes got to move to 4 because he can't concentrate on just moving to the 15 because the 4 is very bankable. This is a very difficult shot. Does he want to, follow behind the 15 with the cue ball?
Yeah, he would like to, but the issue is
very
that
risky.
You can scratch easily and you're jacked up. I think
very risky.
Reyes is pretty nimble at those shots when he has the capacity to get his tip on the cue ball wherever he wants. But from here, any kind of a slight miss hit will translate to a scratch.
He's got to elevate, shoot out over the 5, and when you do that, the angle that you're going into the cue ball changes the action of the cue ball a lot. And it's not a shot that anyone's familiar with, really, that much.
Right. You don't practice it. Oh, he did it pretty well, Billy. That's not half bad from where he was at.
That's actually better than half bad.
Yeah.
It's a quarter bad.
No, really good.
Oh, matter of fact, it's really good. You're right.
Yeah.
Let's go on the other end. It's half good.
Yeah.
Not bad at all.
That's the little artistry that you get to see when you watch a Reyes match, and that's why I have the largest collection in the world of Reyes tapes or videos.
Orcollo would like to bank the 5 and freeze him on the 8. That's a very difficult shot to execute. But if he can do that, if he can put him on the 8, which was a very difficult shot, that's what he wants to do. He wanted to put him back in the stack. Reyes can... I like trying to go onto the 8 there because it leaves him no out going off the 8. This way he can kick under the 15. Or he can go off the 8 and go underneath the 15. See, if you leave him under the 8, you can't do any of these things.
Not good speed, I don't think.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
I think he can cut that.
Let's get that angle behind Orcollo now. Let's get that angle. That's the angle. Now, that's a pretty difficult cut. It's makeable, but with the score the way it is, he has to shoot it.
Yeah.
See, now, if the score was reversed, he wouldn't shoot it. But with the score the way it is, Reyes has...
Yeah, Dennis recognizes it's not that easy to get another shot.
I think he has to shoot it. He wants to go into the 11 softly. Oh, he was off, but he went into the 14. Now he's looking at the 2 to see if that has a pocket. Sometimes in the situations like this, you're better off playing for a bank. But with the angle he's left himself with on the 4, even that's going to be a problem.
Well, if he likes the 2, he'll probably go 3 rails around to the 2.
Well, that's a very difficult shot to shoot. You know, from this distance. When you're this type of a distance from the object ball, you really don't want to load it up. See what I mean? Very difficult shot.
Yeah, it sure was. Well, Reyes didn't get the ultimate punishment either, so.
He's going to have to kick this out. He may even have to use the bottom rail to kick it out. The bank is not available. Kicking it towards your hole is suicidal, so he should go to the bottom rail and stick the cue ball, unless he kicks it cross corner.
I think that's the case. Yeah, he's going to try to one pocket bank. Oh, he made it.
No, he's not really. He's not feeling these shots like the old Reyes.
Right.
Even though he leads in the match, 1-0, his execution isn't really what it once was.
1 to the 5.
Nice angle. Now, if the 2 goes, he's got a nice angle to drop for it.
And we're pretty sure the 2 goes because he missed the ball playing 3 cushions around to get to the 2. Smooth that one in. Great speed.
He would have liked to have gone down another 1.5 inches or so.
Yeah.
So after pocketing the 2, he would have went into the 13, sending the 13 into the 11. Now he's got a problem coming up with another shot here. He does have a shot.
That was well played, too, because he designed that and then executed it.
Right, and he didn't really have much to work with.
And he turns that mistake by Reyes around, wins this game, ties the match at 1 game apiece.
Yeah, I thought the Reyes was going to win that game when he had that opportunity. When Orcollo made that mistake by shooting off the 14 and trying to freeze him on the 2 and allowed the cue ball to get away from him. I thought Reyes was going to steal that game.
Yeah, and there was no reason for Reyes to come up short. He could go long and never be in trouble. Coming up short was the only way.
Yeah, maybe the angle that he had really was awkward, and so therefore he decided to maybe go straight up as opposed to trying to do something different with his stroke.
I think
maybe lose his cue ball.
The other part of it is that he hit the wrong part of the pocket. So while he pocketed the ball, he pocketed it in the wrong part. So we call it missing in the pocket.
Right. When you hit a ball too thickly, despite the fact that you may make it, you lose the speed that you anticipate getting.
Right. Amateurs are just happy to hit the pocket in any fashion, but for the pros, it's much more delicate than that.
The pros play a specific part of the pocket, and they incorporate the speed of the shot into that side of the pocket.
Right.
Therefore, they pretty much know the speed of the cue ball, providing they hit the pocket where they want to hit it. That's where he made his mistake. Most likely.
No, it looked like it, because it really came off slow. I mean, his speed control is not that poorly, so when they hit the rail, I knew right away he was in trouble. So. And that was his undoing in that rack. Meanwhile, we're back to 1-1 our score. Reyes has just broken the balls.
Very deceptive break, even though it doesn't look like a great break. Not much at all Orcollo can do, so he's going to have to try to maybe freeze him on the 2 here.
On the underneath side of the 2?
Yeah, I thought that if he has that ability. No, that's no good.
That might be
he
trouble.
Lost his cue ball.
That might be trouble.
Sometimes when you try to force something, it's really not worth it. Just do something simple, just to buy yourself enough time.
Yeah.
The next time you get back at the table, you'll have something. He's got to go with this. I think he's got to bank the 2 here.
He won, he being Orcollo, wanted to do something more aggressive, like Billy said, and stun it forward and do some damage with the object ball, but it was too premature, and now he's gone 1.5 inches too far. Reyes can bank it, put it by his pocket, bank it, clip to 14.
Yeah, I think he's got to bank it with some speed, though. I really do. I like this shot. It's a big pocket. He can hit it when he's close. I think he's got to hit it with some speed. Well, he didn't hit it with the speed that he needed to hit it with. He was a little afraid of the shot, possibly because he felt that there was no guarantee he was going to come up with another shot. So therefore, if that was a situation and that was his thinking, that he made the right choice, he just didn't hit it well. You want to hit this with some speed and move the 9 into 2. You want to get some balls away from his pocket. Oh, he hit the wrong ball. He hit the wrong ball.
Billy, would you ever consider writing a book on one pocket strategy? I'm serious. I'm not making a joke. No? It'd be difficult to write a book, but boy, you're a fountain of information that would be invaluable to someone that was devoted to the sport.
And we're controlling the cue ball. He wants to put it behind the 13. Oh, controlling the cue ball. Well, he went for that bank.
That was a nice shot.
Yeah, now he's over top of the 2 if he plans on shooting the 5. A shot that he wouldn't have any fear of a few years back. But, well, you know the rest. He has to revise his plan now, possibly. But he's got a pretty big upside with this shot, which is, so it's so tempting, to shoot at this type of a shot because of your upside. If he decides to shoot this shot, then he has to make sure that he has total concentration with the shot. And he's not going to lose any dignity by not shooting the shot, because we do understand.
And, I mean, you have to play with the tools that you have. You can't play with the tools that you imagine you have. Gets by the point, that's a good shot.
And that's such an undoing for most players, or for a lot of players.
Yeah.
They try to play with tools they really don't have.
Right.
And then they think they do. I know I could have made that ball.
Yes. Additionally, we always judge our game by our best day. You remember when I beat Reyes? And then how about last week, Mark, when you lost to old grandma? Why aren't we talking about that, right? No, I beat Reyes. Yeah, you're much better off to judge yourself by your worst game as opposed to your best game. That's more the reality, for one thing.
But I think most importantly, you're much better off to judge your game by how you're playing.
Yeah. If you can be honest. Most of us can't be honest. So.
Because if you judge your game by your worst game, then you may pass up the opportunity to win. But if you judge your game the way you're playing and you think you can do it, go for it.
I was thinking more of matching up, though. You come out better.
Matching up.
I'm paralyzed.
Matching up. Oh, you forgot to add that.
I really haven't been playing.
Yeah, I haven't hit a ball in a month. Okay.
Well, Dennis recognizes the 2 and 9 is not a big threat right now, but there's not a whole lot else he can do here. He's going to bank the 5 on his side or into the stack.
Yeah, he's got to be careful here.
He's just going to thread it down there.
Yeah, he wants to put the 5 on his side, clearing the 8, which he's done. He had a shot on the 6. He could have crossed it into the balls, sending the cue ball to the bottom cushion and then back up table. Now, the 5 that he banked was positioned near the side, which Reyes couldn't have shot it because he would have scratched off the 5. So, therefore, he would have opened up a few balls and went through that gap and back up table, freezing the cue ball near that top rail. Yeah. Now, that was a possible shot, but he did okay. He moved the ball from Reyes' side, positioned on his side, didn't give Reyes any shot to improve his position. Into the stack we go here. Now, that 9 and 2 are really a problem for Reyes because it allows Orcollo to do just about anything he wants to do and leave the cue ball up table.
Yeah, as soon as he can, he's going to try to dislodge them. He, being Reyes, needs to move him. Orcollo doesn't need to move him. He could bank the 2 if he had to, and it also precludes Reyes from having a lot of wide open access to his pocket.
Now, you don't want to leave Reyes the angle on the 9 to open him up and go 2 cushions here. And Reyes would like to open them up and go in between the 5 and 10, but that's suicidal. Even though you could put it on the telestrator, doing
Yeah.
it is not going to be easy at
Right.
all. He wants to put him behind the 5 again, I guess. That's a pretty safe spot to put him. But what are you going to do with the 10?
Looks like he's back cutting the 10 just to bank it on his side down by his pocket. No, he didn't even go with that speed. I thought maybe he would have played that, but it wasn't laying right. It was just totally control the cue ball.
But Reyes did bring the 10 ball back down table far enough to where now Orcollo doesn't have a 2-railer on that green ball. There's a 10s there. I believe it does go. Yes, it does. Orcollo would like to move to 10. That's the only ball that can go in Reyes' pocket. He would like to bank it, actually. This is the shot. Banking the 10. I believe he's banking the 10. Or he's banking the... No, he didn't bank the 10. But that wasn't a bad thought either.
No, he's taking advantage of the 2 and 9 problem.
Oh, yeah. Boy, Reyes is just really frustrated with that 2-9, the way they're positioned. He really wants to do something about it, but now's not the time, and he knows it. He can't come off the 3. He may leave him a bank on the 2, so he's got a problem. If he comes off the 4, he may leave him a bank on the 3 because the 2-9's still tied up. He may open up the 2-9 here and drop to the bottom rail. Watch the cue ball. Right behind the 3.
Easy to sell the bank. Easy to sell the bank here.
Bottom rail. No, he took away the bank.
Great
bottom
job.
rail behind the 3. Now that alleviated that problem. So therefore, he's like, just so a little bit, not much, make my next inning a little more comfortable.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Good execution there.
Orcollo would like to put him where the 5 is. See where the 5 is? Right sandwich the cue ball right there. That's where he would like to put him. But getting there may be a problem. Can he come off the 2, cut it toward the side, go cross table, and put him where the 5 is? See?
Mm-hmm.
Can he shoot off the 2 and then go right where the 5 is? I don't know if that's any good.
Yeah, Efren's certainly examining.
He may go after this bank here.
Yeah, he could bank the 3 if he stiffened it up maybe, but I think it's too risky. He's just going to roll it.
Well, the match is tied up at 1 game apiece. All count 1-0 in favor of Reyes. But Orcollo had... See, when that 3 ball was there, that was a big ball for Orcollo. He should have taken advantage of that, I thought, and put the cue ball near that 5, and know where Reyes could have gone from there.
It's like he's going to the 5 now. Oh.
Yes, he is.
Yeah.
See, he could have done that before.
Oh, my.
Remember when the 3 was where it was before? Then Reyes would have had a big problem. But still, Reyes wants to get him where the 4 is. He should either kick or come off the 5 and get him there. Because that's where he wants to put him. Putting him over there really doesn't do much for Orcollo. He can't really come there. He's going to kick at it.
2 cushions,
Yes.
kick, lightly to the 4. Willing to take a foul, just not willing to sell out. Oh,
Narrowly
not quite.
missing it, but fair trade-off at this point because he really doesn't want to give him a shot to position the cue ball up table and move that 6 ball. See, once he gives Orcollo a shot to move that 6 ball and then, goes up table near that side rail, he's got some big problems with Orcollo then. He may bank the 5 here. No, he may bank the 6 here, I should say, whatever it is. Is that 6 ball or
Yes,
7
it is.
ball?
The lime
Okay,
6.
but play a good cue ball near that diamond on the long rail. The first diamond on the long rail is where he wants to be. Too hard. See, now he left him to 4. Now Reyes can either kick at it. He's going to have to kick at it. Because he can't move by going straight at it. The cue ball's too close to the cushion. Soft kick here. That was no good. it better fall. I'm surprised. Maybe he didn't have the angle to kick it to 4. Because he misjudged that badly.
Well, that hurt.
Big shot coming up here because the cue ball was in a position now where Orcollo may have a problem coming up with another shot. Let's take a look.
Try to get to the long rail on the other side of the table.
No, he should have got a bridge out because shouldn't get with his body position like that. He's got to take something away from his judgment.
Yeah. I don't know if he can throw the 15 ball enough here with the 1.
He's sure looking at it, and he's kind of excited. I think he likes it.
Yeah, he'd be pretty fortunate if it does throw in. It's right on the edge of being enough. Wasn't quite enough.
You're right. Let's take a look at the ball count here. It's 1-1. Is it time to go after the bank? I don't know. Probably not. The bank's a little off angle. 1-0 in favor of Orcollo in the ball count, but the score is 1-1. Now, the bank's a little off angle, Mark. If it was a bank that you could play automatic position on, maybe you would go after it. But moving that stripe near Orcollo's pocket is good enough. I wouldn't do anything but move the stripe or bank it. And no, you can't do that. You got to move the stripe by the pocket, I do believe.
Yeah. Efren, would love to score a ball here or put some kind of a threat down there, but everything seems too risky.
He's going to try to draw and try to...
I think he let the cue ball get out of the... I think he can back cut that 15 ball in now.
Yes, he can. Yes, he can. But he's going to have to get the bridge to do it. So that may complicate that shot just enough for him not to pocket it because he's not going to be able to reach it. I don't know if he has an extension. No, he's going to call for the bridge. Now, this is not the kind of a shot that he's going to hit with confidence because controlling the cue ball could be a problem here.
Yeah, good call, Billy. Now he's going to have to put all his faith into making the 8 if he goes that way because...
not much reward there, and knows how the balls are positioned. Everything seems to go in Reyes' pocket.
Well, Dennis feels like if he pockets the 8, he can bank the 5 next.
I wouldn't bet on that.
Yeah.
And he is betting on it, but I wouldn't. But, of course, I don't shoot nearly as straight as him.
That's the deal.
But if he shoots this, I don't think he's going to win the game.
If he gets stymied here, well, he doesn't. He's going to go ahead. He recognizes the problem and going to just remove the 5. Nope.
I think Reyes is going to have to move the 5. Very difficult for Reyes to do something with any other ball other than the 5.
Mm-hmm.
Very difficult. Sometimes when you have a ball close to your pocket, you really don't want to move it, especially if it's the only ball.
Right.
But when you take a look at the situation, how the balls are positioned on the table, and you can't protect any of the other balls, you can't defend against the other balls, he's going to try to draw behind the 8 here. See, this is very difficult here. He's elevating.
Boy, he hit that good, though. From
Wow.
where he was at, he rearranged the furniture.
That was beautifully executed. I mean, you really can't argue that. It's just the thought that had me worried.
Right. A lot of things could go wrong.
Wow, yeah.
Power up, got the right amount of draw, and have to keep the 8 ball involved. Great job there.
Now, the 14 and 10, the 2 balls, I would go off of those 2 balls because they both go in Reyes' pocket. I come off the top ball and put him under the 5 here. You got to give up your position here.
Dennis is thinking a half-mast hang and trying to kick one rail to make the 5 go on his side of the table.
You got to come off these 2 balls and put him under the 5. See, because now you open up these 2 balls. Is he going in front of the 5 or behind or to the long rail?
I thought he was going to the long rail, but I might be wrong about that. Takes a little extra billiard shot.
Yeah, that's the
good.
shot.
Yeah.
That's the shot. You don't want to do that, but you had to. You had to do that. Reyes made an excellent shot. I mean, the shot that Reyes made gave him an excellent chance to win this game because he was really up against it in this game. He made a tremendously great shot when he put that cue ball behind the 8.
Reyes knows that maintaining the 5 ball down there is very vital to his hopes of winning this rack.
But you got to move it now, Mark, because before I can understand, but you got to move it now because now the balls are somewhat even. You just bank the 5 up there by the diamond up there, and bring it back down. I don't know. He's going to kick the 8 here. He's just a little bit of a stretch here. It's a little bit of a stretch.
It's going to work out okay. Not
I don't
great.
think so. He's got a shot on the 11. He's got a shot on the 11. And this is the type of a shot that he may shoot.
Yeah, just because he didn't have a lot of alternatives.
Well, he's
not
got
easy.
He knows this is a shot. He's a good 75, 80% favorite to make this. He's shying away from it. He went to hit the 1 into the 5 and move them both out of there. That shot doesn't lay quite natural. Now he's going back to the 11 again. He hasn't made up his mind. Back to the 1. Now he's going to just float behind the 5. You don't like that too much either. He's going back to the 11. Now he's got to get up and say, you know what? I got to shoot this 11. And then get down and shoot it.
Yeah, he's changed his tip position from center to low. Oh, wow. Good shot.
He shot it. It gave him his best chance of pocketing the ball because you notice what he did with the cue ball. He didn't care where the cue ball went. He knew he was going to get some action with that shot. But most importantly, he was going to pocket the 11. And you brought that point up earlier in the telecast. Forget about the carom. Make sure you pocket the ball.
Yeah,
That's exactly what he did. He illustrated your thought perfectly there.
Yeah, you got to be committed to your shot. You can't be ambiguous about, I hope the cue ball hits this on this side. Then when you stroke, because then you're divided, and this is too hard of a game for that.
Yeah, and that's a very, very, very important lesson to learn, by the way. And I'm sure we've all been confronted with that type of a situation a countless number of times.
Yes.
And try to divide our concentration between two things when we really aren't supposed to.
No.
And then what happens?
Right.
Oh, man, I should have made that. But I did play position.
Right. I would like to have the money back that I've
Yeah.
spent doing it with a divided brain when I shot.
Yeah.
That lesson does stick with you when you lose enough, though.
Yeah. And to have players like yourself confirm that
Yeah.
to the people out there that are listening, that's reassurance that when you ever come across that type of a situation, you're going to do the right thing. And you're going to do it if you concentrate on pocketing the ball.
Dennis banking the 10 here in his pocket.
It might be the 3.
Yeah.
He left him straight in. I think he can get away from the scratch here. I'm not sure. He's
Well, I'll tell
looking
you
at
what, that was not a bad attempt, not a bad idea by Dennis.
No, and he really hit it thickly. And by hitting it thickly, he run the risk of selling out the 6. But had he hit it well, he would have got paid off. Nice speed. No bank there. It doesn't appear that there's a bank there. I mean, it looks pretty close to a kiss.
Mm-hmm.
Only the true great bank pool players know if there's a kiss.
Yeah.
Because sometimes I see a bank pool player shoot a bag, I say, there's a kiss there. And they miss the kiss.
Yeah.
Not by much. But they know they're going to miss it, not by much.
Right.
Where guys like me say, oh, I'm not shooting that.
I've been kissed, yeah.
And my opponent knows better. He shoots it and he beats me.
Not very many.
Yeah, he beats me.
Billy, he beats me.
Yeah, it's what a great tool to have, the ability to understand how to bank, how to stay away from kisses. I mean, especially playing one pocket, because those type of shots come up often enough to decide the winner of games. He would like to bank the 8 here, because Reyes' side of the table is pretty free. He knows he's going to hit the side of the 10. I think he should go ahead and bank this. You know, I got a little bit of a gamble to myself. Maybe that's not the correct shot, but it's close enough right now for me to shoot it. That's just the player in me. Mm-hmm. You know, I can do this.
What about the 2-railing the 10? No way.
Yeah, you could do that.
He's going to go down table. I think it's just a safety, yeah.
Yeah, that's what he's doing.
Well, Reyes is still in this game for sure, and especially with the arrangement of the balls where it's more of a strategic type of a game. It plays into Efren's hands for his strengths.
Man, you can't. You got to go back. You got to come off that ball and go back down the table. Leave him distance. He doesn't want to move that ball because that's a ball Reyes will have to defend against later on. So he wants to leave it there. That was the only reason why he left it there. Now he's going to find himself on the end rail, near his pocket, by the way. Near his pocket with the cue ball. He could have got a little further across. He would like to come off the 6, but he may leave him a free bank on that stripe in the middle of the table, so he could have crossed the 6 and go
7.
back down table.
Yeah, Billy means the 7. The 6 is buried in the corner pocket over here by us, and the 7's out there.
The 7 ball is the lone ball on the other side of the table. He wants to come off that ball. He would like to cross it. I think he should cross it and go back down table. If he rolls it, he may leave him a free bank here. See, by rolling it, you may leave a free bank here. Now, Reyes might bank this ball because it looks like it might be free. The one in the center of the table, that is.
Well, he's close enough. He's going to bank the 14 or the 12 here. It looks like he's winding up for the 14.
Right. Here we go. Now, this bank you have to hit with good pocket speed, because if you don't, you leave a 2-railer on the 10 or maybe even a cross corner on the 14. Because that's the drawback of that particular type of a shot.
Yeah, he gave up too much on that. It wasn't worth it. He could only get one or maybe another bank shot.
Now, he can spin this with left-hand English, send the cue ball 2 cushions toward that 6 or the 7, whatever that ball
7.
is.
Yep.
The 7. See, that will preclude the cue ball from scratching in that pocket, and that's the insurance that he needs to shoot this type of a shot. So this is the type of a shot he should go after here.
Yeah, just a little rough. Well, Efren's got another bank if he wants it on that.
No, he's not going to
No.
shoot that back. There's no reward for that, really. I mean, there is, but not enough of a reward for the gamble.
Well, Efren's reluctant to want to remove the 14.
This is surprising. Very surprising. Very surprising. I don't like that. That's a losing shot there. He can 2-rail the 8. 2-rail the 8, draw the cue ball behind the 9, or put him on that 2, or do something with the cue ball. That was a very poorly thought out shot, I believe. You can only get one ball, but if you don't make it, you're going to lose control of the layout for sure. By moving the ball near Orcollo's pocket, now the game is still up for grabs.
Right.
But shooting that shot, I thought that was a very, very, very ill-advised shot.
Well, and Efren's probably going to be in trouble pretty good now. What if Orcollo drops the cue ball in there by the 1 and the 6 from this shot?
There's a lot of places, right?
Oh, man, if he gets it underneath there, he's really in trouble.
He could make the bank, too, by the way.
No, he didn't get the cue
Short,
ball.
that's where he put the cue ball. Look, he put the cue ball.
Yeah.
Now look at Reyes. Now look at Reyes. Reyes is really not feeling good about this
Not at all. No, he's going to be lucky to escape this.
All. See, by putting the cue ball where he did behind the 9, he protects the 8 ball.
Yeah.
And if the 8 ball ends in a position on the table where it's very easy to pocket from anywhere on the table, positioning the cue ball behind the 9, he's going to have to kick the 8 here. I think he's going to have to kick 2 cushions behind the 8. This is like, I wouldn't want to do this, but what are you going to do?
Mm-hmm.
What are you going to do? 2 cushions behind the 8. Or he's going to come off the 10 and get behind the 8. What is he going to do here? I like kicking at it myself. See, you have much better control of the cue ball kicking than you do playing a carom shot.
Right. Yeah, because you can see he collided heavily into the 14. That wasn't even close.
No, not even close.
Yeah.
But if you kick, especially Efren Reyes with his ability to kick, he's going to get much better results than what he got, and most likely, give up maybe only 1 ball or a tough shot.
All spawned from that bank that you didn't think he should play at
that
all.
was very ill-advised. You know that shot was the wrong shot. Right. He's really, really not thinking well. Yeah, you would like to come right back and play position, but you don't want to scratch. Maybe play position for the bank, then play position for the 9. Maybe that's the best way to go here. Nope, he went across the table. He didn't like to draw it, so he followed it. He's got an angle. It's a little awkward to drop for the 9, but it's doable. But he's going to have to hit it with a pretty hard speed, which is going to, shorten the pocket up a little bit. Going to close it up a little bit. Got to hit it accurately.
He had a little more angle than we thought because he floated that cue ball down there pretty nice.
Yeah, exactly. I thought he was a little straighter than he was.
He can play a 2-railer on the 10 from here if he doesn't have the 1.
Nicely struck.
Provided he made it.
Yeah, the 2-railer is a much more comfortable shot. He can reach it, and he can play a much better cue ball. Oh, he's going to play the 1. He must really like it. He must like it. Now Reyes steps to the table. He needs. Reyes has been playing a lot of gutsy shots here in this match.
Uncharacteristic, I might add. You don't see him usually make mistakes of the nature that he's made so far, and it's mostly been decision-making errors as opposed to execution errors.
Yeah, well, he's stretching a little bit. He's made a lot of shots, attempted a lot of shots. Where I thought it was a little bit of a stretch.
Right.
And that one for sure was a stretch because there was really no reward behind his thought other than 1 ball and losing his ball position.
The one thing, you might lose your stroke, but you usually don't use your knowledge base. But when you do that, it's usually an indication that you're very tired from this week and maybe the travel getting here and all that because not thinking as clearly as we're used to seeing him. Yeah, this is ugly because now it's just purely defensive. Dennis needs 1.
He left him the bank on the 10. Miles will shoot it. Nice pocket speed. Can't go really much that can go wrong here. You got all balls out of play. This is what you really want to do, okay? You really want to shoot a shot like this where all the other balls are out of play. Even though it's a lower percentage shot than you would like, it's good enough because of the situation. You know?
Right. Yeah, and when you hit like that, you keep the pressure on. You could easily come out of this with a bank on the one of some kind.
Especially since you positioned it so nicely near the pocket, limiting Reyes what he can do with the cue ball. So he may even have to softly kick it. You know, and maybe that's all he has. I know he can't bank it, but maybe just a soft kick. And then once again, he went with the little more risky shot. Orcollo now has a bank on the 10.
With a 3.
No, I don't agree with this shot. I like banking the 10. Now you're putting too many more balls down table. No. See, you're putting too many balls down table. Now Reyes can pocket the 6. Now, don't shoot anything now. Pocket the 7 ball on the side of the table. You don't shoot anything here. You want to try to put that cue ball, sandwich it underneath that 2 here. You know, and put another ball on the foot spot. This is how you get back in this game. See, Orcollo shot an ill-advised shot with the 3 ball. Allowed Reyes to do this. This is what you need to do here. He's not doing it. He don't like it. He wants to cut the 1. I don't like the shot. What are you going to get, 2 balls?
You need all of them. So shooting now, you can lose, but you can only help yourself a smidgen here. But you could lose the entire set. Certainly the game. Oh, great shot, but I completely agree with you, Billy, because he's still going to have to deal with all that other junk.
Yeah, you know, and to make that shot with the speed that he hit it with, and get the results that he got.
Right. Very fortunate.
Was
if you're going to make a good shot, make it when it really counts. Make the shot later. Anyway, we're here, and now.
Okay, now here's what he wants to do. He wants to obviously pocket the 1, but he wants to pocket another ball and hook him behind those 2 balls. That way you accumulate balls on the foot spot. Now that's what he wants to do. Now you put him behind those balls. Now you don't fool with this ball. Don't fool with that ball. This is a big mistake. This is a huge mistake. I don't believe he's doing this. He had a chance to put a ball in the foot spot. I don't understand. You know my thinking there? You put a ball in the foot spot, you put him behind those balls.
Yeah, this is.
And if he scratched, obviously he scratched.
Yeah, boy.
But then he would have an opportunity to put the second ball in the foot spot.
It's almost like he just wanted to get it over with here. Look at Orcollo to win the game. Spot shot. And he powers it in there with a little draw. Reyes didn't want to go through the hardship of going through all the put balls on the spot thing, I guess.
No.
Even if you put that ball in play, what do you do? You know, I guess he wanted to put that ball over there where he forced Dennis to start pocketing balls. Okay. We're going to have a short break, everybody, and we'll be right back. Okay, everybody, here we go. Game number 4 about to get underway. 2-1 is our score. Orcollo over Reyes. We're just waiting for Reyes to return. I thought he was back, but now I look down and see that he's not back. Here he comes. I see him walking down the hallway. Have you been able to play any pool in recent times, Billy?
Yeah, I've been playing. Matter of fact, I've been playing quite a bit of pool lately. You know, I practiced for a solid 6 weeks before this tournament. You know, I obviously didn't enter the tournament, but I wanted to prepare myself in case I got a game. You know, and it was worth my while practicing. You know, plus I enjoy playing so much. You know, when you grow up playing this game as we have, you know, It never leaves us. It'll never leave us, you know.
It's in your blood.
And when you start, we can take a short break and we'll be okay. But once we get back to playing again, we realize how much we've missed it, you know. And it's contagious. Then we start playing more regularly. And I'm at that point now where I'm starting to play more regularly because I really love playing. And I really love playing one pocket.
Could be a problem here because the bank on the 3 is wide open.
Yeah, and he's got to shoot this bank. He's got to shoot it. He's got to shoot it.
I'm going to get back to the match, but I have a question. Have you played JRB, John Robert?
I played him 4 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting guy.
And he hit it with that speed because that's the type of a bank. When you hit it with the speed that he just hit it with, you really know the action that's going to take place. There's no rolling off. There's no slide to it. You know exactly what's going to happen with that bank. And he was close enough to it to hit it accurately. And that's what you need to do. So you really don't need to be afraid to shoot that type of a bank with a little speed, particularly on a table that has forgiving pockets.
Yeah. Not this table. Billy's not describing has forgiving pockets. Trying to hit the 8, hit the 4.
A little bit of a problem. He should go around, take a look at that 7-2, see if it's dead in Reyes' pocket. I don't know. I don't believe it. I believe it's laying a little high. Because if you're going to move to 5, you want to make sure there's no dead balls in the rack. This is a very difficult shot here. Let's see what he does. Yeah, he says, well, I'm going to give it to him. Even though that 5 ball was a distance from the pocket, sometimes, not often, but sometimes you're better off just giving up the ball to gain a positional advantage.
You know, Reyes is going to take a look at the 6 on the 2, and it looks a little high, like Billy mentioned, but he is going to take a look at it. Not that far off. No, he's just going to content to play safe here.
Gonna watch the kiss here. Now coming off the 2 and going back in the stack is a little dangerous because the 7 ball is going to be pocketable once you come off the 2, so he may have to look elsewhere. He would like to come off the 2, but notice if he comes off the 2, speed of the cue ball becomes very crucial. It doesn't appear that he has anything else on that side of the table, and nothing there. Coming off the 2 is enticing, but once again, going up table, he may deaden the ball here if he does this. So be careful of that.
Yeah, he seems uncertain.
He's going to go up to 14 and leave distance. He may end up with leaving a dead ball here.
I'll tell you, if there's any iffiness to it whatsoever, I'd rather rub the 4 or the 8 and just get the cue ball down there rather
I don't think he can do that.
Maybe not. He made a good enough hit.
Yeah, well, that's not great. I would have rather came off the 2 with a softer speed. Because now he's left Reyes at the table to do something with the 8 ball. I mean, even though it's a pretty awkward angle, he's left him on the 8, you know. Looks like it's a kiss on either side of the 8. There isn't a good side of the 8 for Reyes to hit unless he hits it well. Lead side to kick. He's not really kicking well at all. He's kicking too long. He's not anticipating the slide that he's getting.
I'm not feeling the investment in his willingness to want to fight to win, which I hate to say, but
yeah, he's Yeah, he's losing, and I hate to say this, he's losing his identity as the greatest player. You know, and it's a shame. You know. But like Pat said, 30 years wasn't enough.
No, it is, and it's just like what you said. He recognizes that his training isn't like it used to be, but it's in his blood. He's going to play pool till the day he dies.
Absolutely.
It's not like he's going to retire.
Absolutely.
What would he retire and do? He loves pool, and that's really the hallmark of what's wrong with American pool is that we don't have people that have the passion for it like this. That you know how many years did we see him down here after playing all day and all week, $20 one pocket with sweatpants on, giving up a big spot. So
He's got a 2-rail to 4 into the stack and follow the cue ball, possibly close to the 10, and take a chair. Or maybe he'll leave a bank on the 9 here. Oh, he crossed it. Huh. See that shot he just shot? If it's 2-rail to 4 ball, 2 courses into the stack, open up 2 balls, not hard. Float the cue ball behind that 10. Now you got 2 balls open on your side. Mm-hmm. Now you're building a position. You're making your opponent respect you now. Good cue ball. Good cue ball, putting more pressure on Reyes. See, now Reyes is confronted with a long shot, carries pressure. He's going to have to hit whatever shot he shoots with accuracy at a great distance. And that's not easy, especially if you're not playing well.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, all these long shots become very iffy. If you're just off a couple millimeters, you can totally sell out. No margin of error from great distance.
He could come up to 14. He may come up to 14, and he may brush the 8 here.
This would send the 12 ball his pocket way.
Oh, it was a dead ball. I'm surprised Orcollo didn't look up the table to see if it was a dead ball.
And then, that's a little embarrassing. you play your shot and then leave a dead one. But unfortunately for Efren, he really didn't get much out of it.
No. What is he doing?
It's just a little of that fight that I'm not seeing. Orcollo's playing for 5. He gets around the other side of the 4 here, gets the 10.
He's gonna probably play for the 8 here.
Comes up for the 8.
Or the 4, that's better, yeah. I didn't think he could. I thought he was too thin to do that.
Yeah.
But obviously,
And
that's
he had
the
the
correct ball
10,
to play
even
for.
if he bumped the 4 there, he wasn't going to be totally stymied.
I thought he was going to play for the 8, then the 10, then the 4. But if he could do that, then that's much better.
Now Efren has to just hope for a miss as his only chance to get back. And
based off his demeanor at the table, I don't even know if he wants to see him miss. I'm just telling you.
Yeah.
He doesn't. It doesn't appear like he wants to play. Playing for the 9.
Playing for 2. Red alert, red alert. This is match ball. And Orcollo will move on over Reyes.
And that's the game. Well, I'll tell you, Reyes didn't, I talked with Reyes a couple times briefly in this tournament. He just didn't seem like he had the energy. And
the travel from the Philippines and all these years, and everybody has high expectations, and you've been at the top, and your target, there's always a bullseye on you. It's very hard, and Well, you know, one thing that's become very evident, while this wasn't the best match we ever saw, you're the best one-pocket broadcaster I ever worked with.
Oh, yeah, thank you.
No, really, I learned a lot. I recognize now I don't know too much about one-pocket, but it for everybody listening, it's just like a fountain of knowledge, and it's much appreciated, Billy.
I love the game, you know, and I've learned all this that I speak about from all the players that I watched play and I played, you know, and all the times they've beaten me with all these shots.
Yeah. No, it's a great job.
You know, yeah.
Well,
and
this is.
You're great to work with too, because you're just. You
I am what I am.
Things
Yeah.
and you bring up such interesting points, you know. And I really enjoy working with you too, Mark.
It's
Anyways,
always fun.
I guess you can close this up.
All right.
So I can get me a sandwich.
On behalf of ACCUSTATS Video Productions, this is another rendition of World Class One Pocket. On behalf of Mark Wilson, Billy Incardona, so long for just a while.
Introducing Lucasi Hybrid, a whole new level of performance and technology. A cue with the revolutionary X-Shocks dampening system, eliminating vibration. G5 grip technology for enhanced traction and stability results in maximum cue control. Total sweet spot construction means unmatched power. And the zero flex point ferrule provides dead-on accuracy, giving you the confidence you need in every shot. Lucasi Hybrid, the only cue that matters.